my name is Celia Beck, and you the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I was toying around with this idea of making this video today, and I wasn't sure, because it doesn't really fit into the remit of the channel, which is kind of geeky stuff. I like geeky stuff. Geeky stuff is something that means quite a lot to me. It drives me a lot. But, I just feel there's a lot going on, which I have a particular perspective. I just feel I should tell you about it. You can take it, you can leave it. But I maybe want to hedge your bets in case I'm right. In case I'm right. And I want to be clear. I really hope I'm not. I really hope I'm not. Then I saw this tweet from Nick Briggs this morning. And I think it's something we should all talk about it. And I want to be clear, Nick Briggs, a retweet I should say, Nick Briggs has every right to voice his outlook on politics or absolutely anything at all. I please nobody contact him and harass him in any way. Quite frankly, I got a lot of respect for Nick Briggs. Nick Briggs, if you don't know, he's the voice of the Daleks. He's a writer. He's a Doctor Who's sci-fi nerd. And he's I like his work a lot. I have polar opposite views to him in life, and I guess we're gonna find out in the next 3 to 6 months who's right and who's wrong. Maybe if I'm right, we're gonna find out who's right and who's wrong. And honestly, I hope he's right. I hope he's right. But I think this is something worth talking about. And Nick, if you're watching this, I would love to have a conversation with you, or in fact, anybody on your side of the ideological aisle. I just think it's so important right now. As a conflict seems to be looming, that we people who disagree, have a conversation. And again, please, I want to be really clear. Nobody contact and lambast him for this tweet whatsoever. He has every right to make his feelings clear. And I think that's really the hub of the conversation we're going to have. All right, before we get into it though, the world may be ending, and I really think it is. I'm going to walk you through that. The world may be ending, but either way, can you hit the like button? World's ending. Well, at least I won't have to watch Discovery season 4. There's always something to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Brilliant. Subscribe is great. Thank you very much. I'm getting close to 2,700 subscribers? So yeah, I'm like about 20 away. If you could hit the subscribe button, that'd be freaking awesome. Thank you very much. I feel like Rorschach in Watchmen. His secret identity is a guy who walks around with like the end is nigh, like sign. And then he goes to this newsstand, right? And he wants to check his subscription to his magazine is still coming out. So yeah, that's basically where I am. I am prophesying the end of the world, and yet still hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe, because you know what? I could be, and I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. So that'd be great. Oh, if you subscribe, by the way, you can enter my competition. So the competition, listen, I'm hoping Civilization lasts long enough that I can get this prize out to you. Competition this week, speaking of post-apocalyptic futures, is, of course, the fantastic, the wonderful Terminator Special Edition DVD. This is a great version of this DVD. It's got tons of extras. It's remastered, Terminator retrospective documentary, deleted scenes, foreign trailers. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Alternative trailers, teaser trailers, James Cameron's artwork stills. That's got to be good. There's tons of stuff on this. What should be the hashtag? Oh, hashtag hunter killer. Okay, there you go. Hashtag hunter killer. Everybody loves the hunter killers. We'll get the prize away next week. And go check the video notes. Everything that's there you need to win the prize. Also, of course, there's a link to my Indiegogo. Please go sign up for that. As soon as I get the shipping costs up worked out, and the shipping costs and the promo videos done, we are going live. So I want to go live this month. I really want to go live this month, and you get freebies if you join the mailing list. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Fine. So I was looking at my Twitter this morning. It's always a bad idea. And this thing pops up. From as retweeted by Nicholas Briggs. And listen, again, he's got an absolute right to voice his opinion. I just think this opinion is inexorably good. Well, I think this opinion A is based on 100% falsehood, and I think it's going to inexorably lead to a world-ending. One of the factors is going to enter a world-ending conflict. So we have something clearly Donald Trump. He's banging a drum. It's got a swastika on it. It's got a Confederate flag on it, and he's out of energy because he's got the batteries of Facebook and Twitter taken out. So this is what this is saying. What this is saying that Donald Trump is a racist who preyed on the racist attitudes of people to get power using Twitter and Facebook as a loudspeaker. So you know, if this was the case, it'll be fine, but it's not the case at all. Listen, I'm a big supporter of Donald Trump. I think his presidency, genuinely, I think it's one of the best I've ever seen. It's one of the most successful presidencies, just by every metric possible. I liked his governance. I like what it. And listen, he did a lot of stuff wrong, right? He did a lot of stuff wrong. He wasn't smooth, he wasn't right, but in generally speaking, his governance I thought was excellent. But I think the central message of this, that he was preying on national, well, not nationalistic, a racist as xenophobias, using Twitter and Facebook as a mouseway, as loudspeaker, is simply not true. What again? This is something that you've decided, and again, not just you, Nick, the entirety of your I would say elitist class, right? The entirety of the class has decided this is the case, and there's no discussion on it. I don't believe that he's a fascist. In fact, I think what we're seeing in America now is America is definitely unquestionably falling into totalitarianism. Now, how can I say that? Regardless what went on with voter fraud, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Regardless, America is not a functional democracy. You know, once you have 40% of the electorate who firmly believe, I'm going to explain to you why they firmly believe it. Firmly believe that the electoral process has been corrupted to a point where their vote doesn't have an effect. That's the end of of having a functional democracy. Also, for a functional democracy, you need if you have a two-party system, you need two functioning parties, which you don't have. The Republican Party has imploded. They are never, ever going to get in power again. And again, I can understand people on Nick Briggs' side of the fence go, "Yay, those evil people are good," but that's not good. It's not good for society. That's called totalitarianism. That's called dictatorship. Once you have no functioning democracy, that's all that you have. Now, to make this more pernicious, you also have no free press either. The press has worked solidly as a branch of the Democratic Party, right? Now, to substantiate that allegation, do you remember in 2016 when Trump became president? One of his first things was to ban travel from certain countries that he thought highlighted a security risk. And do you remember that? Because I remember people like you, Nick, screaming at the top of your lungs, going, "This is fascism! This is racism!" Right? Remember that? Because I remember that, right? So that ban is still in effect, going to stay in effect under Biden. And yet, strangely, nobody really minds anymore, do they? No. And that's really... I don't think there's any greater proof there's no free press, because there is no free press. And what free press there is, we have places like CNN actively working to deplatform them, which I think is where we're going with this. So again, look, this image shows Trump preying on and geeing up nationalistic and racist paranoias to gain power. Again, there's been no credible argument made to support this. I'm sorry. Yeah, the big proof that is often used for this is the fine people speech, which was, in that same speech, Trump said, specifically, I disavow white supremacy and racism of all kind. Specifically the KKK. So I just don't think you could use that speech honestly in any way to prove your point. But that doesn't really matter, right? That doesn't really matter. Because truth is now defined by Twitter and by Facebook. So so what you call him using Twitter and Facebook as loudspeakers for his racist rhetoric, which again, you haven't made that point. If it was racist to have the travel ban, which you called a Muslim ban, remember? Isn't it still racist, or has it become not racist now? No, and Twitter and Facebook, that's called freedom of speech. It's not just going to happen to Donald Trump, right? It's happening to anybody who doesn't agree with these political elites, that they are now being rebranded as white supremacist domestic terrorists. So again, I'm Jewish, right? I'm a Jewish rabbi. How am I? I don't understand. I'm somebody who has a very, very, very close understanding of racism, the Holocaust. Like, really, I mean, the most disturbing racism I've seen in politics in my life has been the former leader of the Labour Party in England, Jeremy Corbyn, who was unquestionably a race, unquestionably, an anti-Semitic. So much so the European Human Rights Commission had to come out and say so. So it's and comparing it to Trump, I just haven't seen any racist rhetoric whatsoever. So I think this is a lie. I think this is a lie intended to disenfranchise and deplatform about half the country, about half the world. How do you think that's going to go, Nick? How do you think that's going to go? Because I don't think that's going to go well at all. I think that's going to go badly. So this is what I think is going to go on. Again, America doesn't have a functional democracy, doesn't have a free, independent press, doesn't have freedom of speech. Truth is defined by Twitter. Now, I don't know what the truth is in regard to a lot of these things. So because we haven't investigated the truth. But the fact of the matter is, 40% of the country has no faith in the electoral process. So let's address that first, right? We had Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. I hope you're used to being the minority, because but I don't think he cares. Senate Minority Leader said yesterday that the riot in Capitol Hill, which seemed to me to be a lot more mild and short and controlled than all the BLM riots we saw. Like any of them, choose any of them, they all seemed a lot worse and a lot more seditious, right? But he said that was caused by Trump lying, and I don't know that he wasn't. You don't know that he wasn't. You don't know that he was. But it's all down to what people believe, and I want to try and explain what that 40% of the country think. Right. So we have just the realities of the matter is Biden in the election performed average to below average everywhere, across everywhere. He performed consistently, apart from a handful of key counties in swing states where he massively overperformed, right? That seemed a bit suspicious to me, right? Then on further, investigation, it seemed more suspicious, and there are lots of allegations of massive voter fraud. Now, I have no idea at all if they're real, but to stop there being an actual civil war, I think both sides need to both put up and shut up. Trump's side, they need to show this evidence that they say they have, right? As far as I can tell, they were waiting to get in front of some kind of court to be able to present it. But again, I don't know. Maybe they're lying. Maybe everything the Nick Briggs side of the world is saying is true. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they're lying out their ass. And quite frankly, if they are lying, and they've caused this division, I am 100% on board with the Biden administration and any form of censor that can be put onto Trump, including prison, including, I would say, even the death penalty. Really, quite this. If this is a lie, this is treason designed to destroy a country. So they need to put up whatever their evidence is, and they say they have a lot. They say they have incontrovertible evidence that the last 10% of the votes counted by the Dominion software had an 82% fail rate, which was then all the ballots were switched over to Biden. Prove it. Prove it. Show us your evidence for that. They say 200,000 people, more people voted in Pennsylvania, for example, than there are people on the electoral register. They have ballots that are completely out of what's it called again? Out of balance. Again. Put up or show us all this evidence, and to verify it, we can't have people go, no, people who are in charge of running these elections say, no, we looked and everything's fine. That can't be. We need to see your workings out. We need a definitive answer. Is he lying or is he not lying? Or the alternative is much more disturbing. It's not that is he lying, or is the media and the political establishment lying. Now, it's all down to who you believe, really, isn't it? And the truth is, I just really don't trust the media. I don't trust the political class. I don't trust them in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't trust anybody in the media over spending the last few years like barefaced lying to me. You know, the piss tape, remember that? That was a lie. Russiagate. We're going to talk about the hoax. We talked about it, the good people hoax. You know, like these are all been lies. You've lied to me barefaced over and over again. And politicians, political class, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And quite frankly, just from my own personal observation, the things that he said, that Trump has said, have been pretty much borne out to be true. Remember when he said that he was surveilled by the Obama administration? And everyone, oh, no. He was right. Over it. I think that's the reason the people who hate Trump really hate him. Not because of the things he says, but because he keeps getting proved right. Again, every metric possible. Had one of the most successful governances of all time. I mean, again, by just the math. It's just math. Until there is, significant evidence or proof to substantiate it either way, right? Until you can go either way, there's no way of really saying. And so, if that means pulling those ballots and verifying them, that's what it means. And you got to do that, otherwise it's going to be civil war. So something else that sounds very suspicious to me is the side who's pushing not to do that is the Biden side. That just sounds very, very suspicious to me, right? It might be completely kosher. Who knows? But I don't know. But now, it doesn't really matter at this point. I don't think anybody's going to put up. I don't think anybody's going to shut up, right? I don't think it's going to happen. I think more likely, the only thing stopping America dissolving into a genuine civil war, genuine strife, is the Biden administration's a desire to unify, which seems to be non-existent, right? The Capitol looks like a military coup has taken over. There's 25,000 troops there. If he's the most popular president of all time, which they say he is, I mean, that seems a bit strange. He would need so much. But again, I'm not saying it's a military coup, and I don't know. Look, my prayer is today the inauguration goes off without a hitch. I mean, really, it goes off without a hitch. The people who it would benefit if there are violence is the Biden administration, because I am getting a genuine sense that they are licking their lips, they're salivating to go and punish anybody who has who had the temerity to beat them in the last election, right? In the 20th, I get the feeling they're licking their lips to just wreak their vengeance, right? And I hope I'm wrong. But again, America, not a functional democracy, no freedom of press, No right for free assembly, no freedom of speech, right? Yeah. I think Trump's biggest mistake, amongst many mistakes he made, he thought that credible allegations of massive electoral fraud would be listened to, but apparently not. No, again, if Twitter tells you their fact checkers have said no, that's not true. And again, something else that made me suspicious was that their fact checkers never answered the question. They just said that electoral fraud is very rare. Well, yeah, that's what makes it a story. And, the complete failure of the of the news media to like look into these allegations and debunk them. That probably would have been a good idea. Close as I came, I saw an article in Washington Times, whatever, the Jeff Bezos paper, right? Where they didn't debunk any of them. They kind of cleverly answered side stories that seem similar, right? They seem similar. They seem like but they didn't answer them at all. And I don't know what to tell you. They said the lack of reporting to either completely debunk these allegations and the evidence that have come with them. Like, I don't know about you, but I saw lots and lots of people testify in sworn affidavits. Right? I don't know how they could. I don't know how there could be more evidence, or what evidence anybody would find compelling if what they say they have isn't enough to even get you a hearing. But again, that doesn't really matter. I think the problem right now is the Biden side of things are going to go after conservatives in lockstep with media and lockstep with social media, and we're going to see not a deplatforming, a depersoning of people, an inability of people to even find employment if they don't have the right political opinions. Right? That to me is totalitarianism. That to me is fascism. It is. So you got that going on. So even in the best case scenario, things are not looking good for America. Now I'm going to add in my own wibbly wobbly, somewhat nutball worldview. I'm a rabbi. I'm a Bible thumping creationist. I believe in God. I also believe I'm a rationalist. And again, anybody out there wants to come on and have a conversation about it, I love talking to people who have a different worldview, and I think I can explain why I think I'm reasonably rational. But let's say let's make the artificial reality that God exists, like God, the Old Testament God exists. That being the case, the Biden administration is somewhat indistinguishable from the governments of Sodom and Gomorrah. You may have heard of it, or the generation of the flood. Now, neither of these people did well. Both these people, again, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. I'm just telling you what I believe, right? Both these governments pissed God off. Pissed God off royally, doing exactly what the Biden government is doing. I mean, I think the rush to impeach Trump, giving him less due process than, I don't know, anybody, like a shoplifter, giving him. The rush to impeach Trump is an indictment upon the American legal and political systems. People on the other side of the aisle feel they've been vindicated at last. Yes, he calls the right. But the hypocrisy is breathtaking when we saw months and months of rioting on end. Far worse, far more death, and that was all fine. It was encouraged by Joe Biden. It was encouraged by Kamala Harris. Again, no one's really explained how they're different, except you like these people and you don't like those people, right? That's the only real difference. And of course, one was much more violent than the other. Also, I mean, the facts about it don't really work at all. The facts of the matter are that the riot happened while Trump was still speaking, and Trump very clearly said, "We're going to demonstrate peacefully and patriotically." Seems to be saying, "Don't get crazy" to me. Don't get crazy, but that doesn't really matter. I don't think we got such calming rhetoric from the other side of the aisle, but it doesn't matter. it's a complete abandonment of any kind of fair system of justice, and it's a very very public announcement of that. Another, which again, that was essentially the thing that pushed God over the edge, over the edge with Sodom and Gomorrah. Really, it more than anything. Same too with the generation of the flood. The generation of flood, God got. But again, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. Okay, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. I'm just telling you what I believe, right? And again, it sounds bonkers, I know. So the generation of the flood, they made the thing that again they had this abandonment of law and this codification of a law for untruths, right? Like they created marriage documents. They legalized marriage between things other than men and women, right? Which, if you recall, us religious nutballs back in, was it 2015, said God's gonna get pissed off at this. This is not good. This is the beginning of a slippery slope. I think we proved it was the beginning of a slippery slope. And again, by the way, I want to be really, really clear, right? If you're gay, if you're in a same-sex marriage, I have absolutely zero animosity to you whatsoever. I really do. I listen. I had my grandparents had these lodges when I was growing up. Esme and Judy. We were never sure. Well, I didn't. It didn't even occur to me. Apparently, my parents said, yeah, we were never sure if they were gay or not, right? And then we found out when gay marriage happened, they got married, and again, I'm a Bible-thumping rabbi, right? Bible-thumping rabbi, so I should be going like, no, it's a sin! I was so happy for them, right? And I'm genuinely happy for them. I'm like, Russell D. Davies, I think one of my favorite writers. I think he's an absolutely beautiful human being, right? A wonderful writer. And I say that because you see him through his work, right? You see him through his work, his love of family, his love of connection. It's like I just think he's just a very good person, right? And I'm happy for him. I am. I'm genuinely happy for him. On the other side of the aisle, we got to say that from a biblical moralities perspective, this is not good. It's not good. But equally, I would have to say it would seem to be horribly hypocritical for same-sex couples not to have the same rights as well, I don't know, traditional couples. It would just. The problem is, I think calling it marriage. It's changing the etymology of the name, and these are things that just get God pissed, right? God pissed. So what happens? So I honestly, genuinely believe we're on some kind of messianic redemptive arc, and I think we started from the moment that gay marriage started. I think gay marriage is the thing that made Donald Trump president, quite frankly, because I think gay marriage emboldened the other side of the aisle so much that we started this slippery slope where if you said, scientifically speaking, having a penis normally makes you a male, right? Now we have, God, it's so embarrassing. We have a transgendered medical advisor who's clearly, to me, looks like a man wearing a dress involved in some kind of, I would say, sexual deviance. Like very public. These are the things that piss God off, right? These are the things that piss God off. So I saw Trump's election, which was somewhat miraculous, and then his governance on moving in the direction of biblical values as opposed to being opposed to it, as the Biden administration is, and they're vehemently opposed to every biblical value. So, I think we're on a redemptive arc. However, I don't think we're going there. We're going the pretty route anymore. So my fear is, on top of this rush to war that we have, we're also going to have divine retribution from above. So what do I mean by that? So listen, you take if you're looking at these incredible things, you've got to look at the template set up in the Bible. Again, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe, okay? I'm just telling you what I believe and why I believe it, right? That's all. So you had this thing called the 10 plagues in Egypt, and the function of that was to completely crush and break the Egyptians' worldview, right? Their godless, cruel, somewhat evil worldview. And yeah, the reason it was somewhat miraculous is this is Jewish Kabbalistic philosophy. Back then, magic existed. There was a thing called magic where you could do stuff like real magic, right? That apparently went out the world about 2,700 years ago, when they got rid of the power of idolatry. Also, the power of magic went out the world. They also tried to get rid of the power of illicit sexual relations, but then they found out nobody wanted to do anything, right? If you want to understand that, go watch the episodes of Star Trek where Kirk is split into his good and bad half, right? And that the bad half can't control its fear, but the good half doesn't have the strength to command. So you have that. You have that. Look, the analogy of where I think we are right now. Have you ever seen Independence Day? Right, Independence Day. When the aliens come down, woo, and everybody goes to the top of the building, start partying. Hey, aliens! Yeah, yeah! And that's that's where I think we are right now. I think the mother shit's about to open up. Anyway, push. I think just totalitarianism is here. And very, very scarily, I do think there's going to be something akin to the Reds under the beds situation from the 50s, just the other way around. I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot worse. But I think that's going to radicalize people. But at the same time, you have that going on. And listen, if there's no violence today on the inauguration, I'm going to be thrilled. I wouldn't be surprised if there is violence, and I wouldn't be surprised if that violence was somewhat unaccountable, right? It was the violence on close inspection seemed to be manufactured. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hoping to be wrong. I'm going to be shocked if it happens. I'm not going to be surprised, and I just hope it doesn't happen. But I think at the same time, we're gonna see God's wrath, against America. So what does that look like in this world where there's no miracles, there's no magic? Everything's got to fit sort of within nature. So I think we can expect to see extreme weather events, massive rains, flooding, maybe a small asteroid strike, crazy stuff like that still fits in to the realms of nature, but seem somewhat unlikely. It was. I think it was the third, fourth, or fifth plague before the Egyptian magicians said, "Yeah, okay, we can't do that. This is God, right?" I think it was lice because they were too small. They could only affect magic on something the size of I think a grain or an olive, right? They couldn't do anything that small. So that's the hand of God, right? So I think, what would it take for people to go, my God, this is the hand of God? If there's natural disasters sweeping the country, could be. And disturbingly, today, the day of the inauguration, I saw a story that Mount Etna, Europe's biggest volcano, is erupting. It's and I just think we're going to see a lot more of the same. A lot more of the same, and much more, and growing in intensity over the next 3 to 6 months, however long it's going to take. Listen, I don't know. I believe in there being a loving God, right, who loves everybody. I really do. So listen, the Jews got in Egypt. They got the get out of jail free card when they had the plague of the firstborn, right? The death of the firstborn, which were more than the firstborn. it was a lot of it. But to avoid that, they had to take a lamb, the Paschal lamb, and shecht it, kill it in a kosher way, and then take the blood, put it on the doorpost, and then they eat they eat the lamb, right? They roast the lamb. That became the Paschal sacrifice that we a lamb, but. To understanding the etymology, of the cultural significance of that, because the lamb was a revered cultural icon within Egypt, and it was it just forbidden to kill one, especially put his blood on the doorpost. And what it was taking the ideology of the Egyptians, right, and very publicly saying, I think nothing of it. I think that's what God is going to need people to do. to get through this, and I hope we all do genuinely get through. And again, I want to be clear. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, right? I think best case scenario, they're headed for civil war because I think the people in charge are idiots who are foaming at the mouth for revenge. I genuinely, we have the people who they're going to be going against firmly believe this election has been stolen, and the people who are attacking them have no legitimate power. And I think they're going to be pushed to a point where push comes to shove. And then on top of that, you've got the other three horsemen of the apocalypse coming. You got so we got war. There's going to be death. There's famine. Disease. Is death one of them, or is it pestilence? I don't know. But yeah, I do see all that coming. Here's what I recommend. Just make sure you have a water supply. Do it now before anything goes down. I think we're fine for a month or so maybe. Listen, in terms of timeline, the Kabbalistic prophecies for the end of days talk about this year called the Shemitah year, which starts in beginning of September. Being racked with global wars, and I can see if America isn't a global power at that point, that power vacuum will cause those global wars, right? Make sure you have water. Make sure you have food, perishable food. I might be wrong. About everything, but spend a few $100s now. Make sure you've got supplies, and you've hedged your bets. That's all I'm saying. That's the first thing, just on a practical. The other thing is, look, if you believe in God, pray. Even if you don't believe in God, pray. My firm belief is, what does God want? To have a relationship with us, like a friendly, loving relationship. Pray, and I think the function of this type of messianic path is to remove your belief in anything, your faith in anything other than God. So you have to turn to God. So I think if you do that voluntarily, you might be spared some pain. But most important, regardless of you believe me, if you disbelieve me, if you're on the other side of the, be nice to each other. Be understanding to each other. Just listen to those better angels on your shoulder. Just be nice to each other. And I don't know if we're going to be in a situation where you're going to have food and somebody else doesn't. But share, be nice to each other. That is the only thing. That can lighten this. This is actually one of the worst case scenarios for the coming of the Messianic age. The only thing that can lessen the that decree is being good to each other, trying to connect to God, trying to connect to one another. And I hope if we all do that, everybody does that, we'll be fine, right? I hope everybody does that, we'll be fine. I don't think we're gonna be. And listen, I hope I'm wrong. I've said this so many times in this video. I do hope I'm wrong. Well, sorry, again, we're just going to look at this again so we can say, absolutely, this is going to cause the end of the world, right? Because essentially, Nick, mate, you're calling me a fascist, or you're calling me an idiot that's been duped by a fascist. And well, the reality is this is the end of democracy and freedom of speech. It's the absolute this is fascism. This is the advent of fascism, of totalitarianism. Again, I hope you see this. I hope you appreciate hearing the other side of the aisle. But this is not good. This is not good for anyone. So listen, I just pray. I pray we're all well. I pray nothing happens today in the inauguration, right? I pray nothing happens in the inauguration and everything's fine. I hope my prayer will be answered. I really do. I hope you're all, everybody out there is safe and stays safe. And again, be nice to one another. Which Nick, this isn't it. Okay, again, I love you, Nick. I have a lot of respect for your work. I have a lot of respect for you as a human being. It's your absolute right to voice your opinion. I just wish we could have a conversation about it. You or anybody on your side of the fence, please, let's just have a conversation. I think that's only being going to be good for everybody. My name is Felix Beck, and you're Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. The apocalypse is coming, but still subscribe. Leave a comment. Commenting is good. I like that. And like, share, subscribe, and have yourselves, other than the end of Western civilization, have yourselves a great day.